Hello, I am Robertino Banderas. As we all know quite well, explaining a concept, process, or procedure often requires strategies so that our audience would be able to understand what we are trying to explain. In this video, we will learn that we can actually improve our skills related to explaining in details. Let's get started.
Explaining is essentially about helping someone understand something clearly. When we explain, we often provide reasons, details, or background information about a process, situation, idea, or theory. Very often, explanations connect cause and effect. For example, why were you late? That is the effect, because I had to take care of my sister at the hospital. That is the cause. In this lesson, we will look at how explanations work in English and some common phrases that are used to express them effectively. Let me start with a personal example. I live in Indonesia, and when I'm not speaking English, I communicate in Bahasa Indonesia. My Bahasa is far from perfect, but I can usually express my ideas and opinions in most situations, even though I still make many grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation mistakes. In fact, sometimes I even dream in Bahasa. However, no matter how much my Bahasa Indonesia improves, I doubt that I will ever feel completely comfortable speaking it. The truth is, I feel like I have a different personality when I speak Bahasa. What about you? Do you feel like a different person when you speak English? Do you feel that your personality changes when you use a second or foreign language? Why does this happen? Why do we sometimes feel like a different person when speaking another language? I'm going to explain why I think this happens by discussing some possible causes. The reason for this effect is that we have a strong emotional attachment to our first language. It is the language we used as children, and our deepest memories are stored in it. As we grow older, our bodies change, but the core of our personality is closely connected to our mother tongue. One possible explanation is that learning a second language gives us the opportunity to create a new version of ourselves. We can almost act like performers taking on a new role. For example, someone who is shy in their first language may choose to be more confident or outgoing in their second language. For many people, this experience can feel liberating, as it allows them to develop a kind of second language identity. On the other hand, many people feel less confident when speaking a foreign language. What's responsible for this effect is the lack of language resources. Adults often find it frustrating because they are unable to express themselves in a sophisticated way. When we speak a foreign language, we may feel like children again, communicating in a much simpler manner. Let me explain this further. In our first language, we are able to communicate complex ideas clearly and appropriately. We don't worry too much about grammar or pronunciation, and when we make mistakes, we can easily correct ourselves. We feel equal to other adult speakers. However, when we speak a foreign language with native speakers, we become very aware of the gap between their advanced language skills and our more basic attempts at communication. There is no doubt in my mind that successful language learners realize that they are not exactly the same person when they communicate in a second language. It could well be that trying to express the same personality in a different language causes frustration and discomfort. I'd say that this is why our public persona often feels different when we use another language. Before we finish, let's quickly review some useful phrases that are commonly used when giving explanations in English. The reason for one possible explanation is that what's responsible for this effect is. Let me explain. There's no doubt in my mind that. It could well be that. I'd say that. So, what do you think? Do you feel that you have a different personality when you speak English? If so, what do you think are the reasons behind this effect? Thank you for listening.